Hello, and I am Sara Runyans with eXp Realty. Today I have Ken Winton, Dr. Ken Winton of Performance Vision. And I'm so thrilled to be talking with Dr. Ken because he is actually my eye doctor. And so I've been trying to see if I could get him on here, and I can't wait to just unpack what he has to share with us today about his business. He's been a great eye doctor for me and for my family over the years. And so if you're looking for an eye doctor, he's located in the Cove area. Full family who, by the way, all wear glasses, so I'm sure he does not mind, didn't mind serving us over the years. So anyway, Dr. Ken, welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I know I've already given a bit of an intro, but I'd like for you, from your perspective, just to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Ken Winton, and I'm an optometrist here in the Hampton Cove area. This is my 22nd year in practice. For the first 16, I was at a different place, and then about 6 years ago, I came over here, and when we opened our current office, Performance Vision, uh, and so we have a true private practice, family optometry practice uh, here to help our neighbors out here in the Cove area.
Awesome. So, we out in the Cove, I know that we have a lot of businesses coming out here. So what unique qualities and experiences set you apart in your business?
Well, I think there's two things. One, my staff, our team, I think it is a huge thing that I'm fortunate to have a fantastic group of folks to work with. Um, and when folks come to our office, they're probably going to spend more time with my staff than they are with me. And so they're the real uh, heroes in that sense, to where they take such good care of folks, and they care about our folks, and they do such a great job. I got to give them that credit. That's like our little secret weapon.
Oh, for sure. I
And so
agree. You got a great staff. I've always had great experiences with them. So
and
that's
it
so
makes
true.
a huge difference.
Mhm.
And so I think the second thing would be kind of how we're different. Is we certainly provide all the normal family eye care, routine eye care services, but we do have a specialty where that's called sports vision training, where we do a lot of work with athletes as far as evaluating and training their visual system and their group of visual skills to that the idea being the faster, the more accurate, the better your visual skills are as an athlete, how well you see things, that translates to an increase in your performance on the field or on the court. So we do a lot of stuff with the youth athletes in our area, which is not something that a lot of folks do. And so that's one thing that I think kind of separates us, that we can offer that. It's just that specialty service. It's just not offered anywhere else around here. And so we're happy to be able to give our athletes, our kids around here, access to that.
Well, I don't want to throw you off of throw a curveball to you or anything, but I would want to unpack that a little bit more, because I've always known you as, you are our eye doctor. And yet, this is a great thing, because there's so many people and kids involved in sports, and adults too, that, that may not realize how training might help their vision. Could you give us maybe sort of a simple example of how you've been able to help people in that
Sure.
regard?
So it's not just having the right vision correction. Yeah, that's certainly where we start with it. That you have to have the absolute best vision correction first. But when we go and do our sports vision evaluations, for example, we're diving a whole lot deeper um, in evaluating what we call visual skills, which we can break down the visual system and look at things like tracking speed and targeting and eye coordination and depth perception, peripheral vision awareness, focusing flexibility, and actually how well you can, the eyes and the brain can take in visual information, process it, and create a response. And so as technology has evolved over the years, we now have these tools where we can actually measure these things.
Wow.
And you know, like a lot of things, what you can measure, you can improve. And we see that with these, when we do our training programs with these folks, that you can absolutely improve these visual skills. So we look to see, we really look to see if there's any of, there's about 10 or 12 skills we look at, but we look to see if any of them are maybe a little sub where we want them to be, or not as well balanced as we want them to be. Is there anything that could be slowing them down or negatively affecting their performance in their sport? If so, we can work on those things, and we absolutely see it. You know, the better your visual system performs, that does translate into
Hmm.
overall performance.
Well, that kind of makes sense to me because as a former teacher, we learned a little bit and started learning more about like neuroplasticity and, your ability to improve things neurologically, I guess. Does that play into what you're doing there? Like you're doing skills practice or something with
Oh, sure. Yeah,
vision?
absolutely. Um, you know, these uh, all the connections between the eyes and the brain and the different parts of the brain that create your motor responses, your movements. Yeah, those are all pathways, you know, and
Mhm.
a lot of on the training side, a lot of these things is just working on and reinforcing those pathways and making them stronger and almost second nature.
Well, I may not should mention this, but I took an NRA training course in learning how to shoot a gun. And when you do, you realize how important your vision is
Yeah,
because you're
you
looking
know,
from two eyes trying to hit a target.
it's really easy to take for granted and not think
Mhm.
about it. You know, it's a really often overlooked thing. You know, a lot of these serious athletes, you know, they spend so much time on, you know, strength and agility and gear and this and that. But can you see? You know, a
Mhm.
lot of folks just uh, don't think about it. And so, and that's
Mhm.
a major difference, you know.
I'm glad we're being able to highlight that today because you're right. I think that people just think, well, I've got eyes, I can see, I can throw a ball, I can hit a ball, whatever. But do you really realize the impact your vision has on your performance in your sport? And if you're serious about your sport, and maybe some people going further to maybe playing college or even professionally, those are things, or even just if they just want to improve their game just for their own enjoyment, then that gives them the ability to even get better. So that's great, Dr. Ken. I love that.
Yeah, the higher, you know, the higher level these athletes compete at,
Mhm.
the less the margin of error. And
Oh,
so
for
any
sure.
little, especially when you get up to the higher levels, you
Mhm.
know, any little bit of an advantage
Right. Well, after
can make a
recently
difference.
watching these Olympics and you see all these tenth of a points that make all the difference in a
Yeah.
gold or a silver, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So now I know we already talked a little bit about performance vision, but so you have that business name, Performance Vision. Can you like maybe share the inspiration that gave that made you choose that name?
Sure. So you know, it really stemmed from um, the sports vision side of the practice that we wanted to do. When we opened this office, I was able to do a lot more here.
Hmm.
So it's really where it stemmed from, you know, because the whole concept is to improve performance, right?
Hmm.
So so we could kind of, you know, extend that to all of our patients too, you know, depending on what your, you know, vision demands are at work or at home or whatever you're doing, you know, we want to make sure your visual system is operating at its highest level, and there's nothing that's going to be slowing you down or making your eyes tired at work, or everybody just stares at these screens all day now, and so we see a lot of tired eyes.
Yeah, the last time
For
I came
sure.
in, I was having some tired eyes and I got some eye drops from you. And I just have to tell you, they are amazing. I love those eye drops. So yeah, if anybody needs some good ones, Dr. Ken has some. And also, I'm feeling like that you might be for people even outside the Cove who want the sports vision help, might be willing to drive over the mountain to come out, because I don't know that there are a lot of other practices that offer the type things that you do with this. Would you agree? Or
Sure. As far as the sports training side goes, yeah, I think I could be wrong on this,
Mhm.
but I think there's a one place in Nashville, and there used to be a place down in Tuscaloosa. I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but other than that, at least in North Alabama, there's nobody else that really does those things. And so, because you know, you have to really be passionate about sports and kind of be a sports person, and you kind of love it because
Mhm.
because it is more time consuming, and you have to have the right equipment. And so um, if you really have to be a sports fan or a sports
Really into
person to
sports.
really get
Yeah,
into it
a
and
serious,
do it right,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
And there are plenty of people like that in our area and surrounding areas for sure. I mean, so yeah, definitely. Um, I just interviewed a lady who runs a softball business in South Huntsville, and she helps to train young women who, are serious about softball. And she is very serious in how she trains them, and they're very detailed and very, they coach for, people, literally everyone she said that they have had go through their program has been offered a scholarship when they go to college at this point. And I think it's been, over 500 ladies. So that's saying something. Now, she says she's got a class they're about to graduate, so she can't say they're 100% at this point. But if this class has the same track record, then that would be true. So I know that she probably would have people that might be interested in what you do as well. So yeah, there are definitely serious athletes in the area. Uh, so 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 I know that we've talked about this to some extent, but what is your approach to serving your clients and customers, and what sets you apart in that regard?
uh, I think since day one, we've always our first priority has been really patience or service,
Service.
so I don't know, everybody says that,
Mhm.
but my dad was an optometrist years ago, and he was the best I'd ever seen at it, and I learned a lot from him, on just how to take care of folks the right way, and we want when folks walk into our office, we want to treat them like they're friends coming into our home. That's what I tell our staff, and so because our patients are our friends, we see them at church or at the grocery store or at the restaurants, and so uh, we've always had that concept first. And again, that this where the staff makes a huge difference. Um, I think we have such a fantastic team that do such a great job at that. And so, but I think nowadays, a lot of really good customer service, seems like it's getting harder and harder to find these
I
days,
agree.
and so I think there's a lot of folks still want that, and they still value that. And so it's one thing that you know, as everything seems like it's corporate related or, big this, that, you know, uh, we want to be able to take care of our folks the way we feel like is the right way. And so we
Well, I
probably do
think,
spend a little more time with them, but I think a lot of folks still value that. And that's one thing we want to be able to offer.
okay. Yeah, I know you're always very upbeat and you come in, you're very positive. You go to the doctor for whatever reason, eye doctor, and you always think, okay, this is a doctor's appointment. But we go in, get him in, and Dr. Ken is just so, you know, positive. And then I know that, if I have a concern, um, you're very good at breaking it down for me. And I don't know how many times you've said, does that make sense? So you make sure you're communicating well and ask us questions back to make sure we're getting it right. And so that's important because I know we've all had an experience where you go into a doctor's office of some sort and you feel like, did that doctor even hear me? Or, did I don't know that I understood what they were telling me to do, but I never feel that way when I come there, Dr. Ken. So you're definitely good with communication, and I believe that you've been accurate in your information you've given to me about our family. Um, so what are your aspirations and plans for the future of your business? I know you've been in business for 22 years, but what do you see ahead?
Well, for our office here, you know, right now it's just little old me. I'm the only optometrist here, and so there's only so many hours in the day. You know,
Right,
There's so
right.
much you can do. So
Mhm,
uh, certainly we want to, over the next few years, we're hoping to, we want to help as many people as we can, and so. I'm hoping to be able to expand our staff and
mhm.
our space a little bit, and maybe have an additional optometrist here with us maybe soon, just so we can open up our schedules and expand our schedules more and be able to just help more people out.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well,
yeah, we definitely plan on being here for a while.
well, that's good. I'm glad you're going to be here for a while. I've actually got grandbabies in the area now, so who knows, they might be coming to you at some point. If there's one thing you'd like our audience to take away from this interview about you and your business, what would it be?
Uh, I would say, you know, our business is really built on relationships. I mean, honestly, that's what we want. Like I said before, our patients are our friends. We consider them our family, and we value that tremendously. That people trust us, with their eyes and their kids, and so, um, we don't want you to be a number on a spreadsheet somewhere. You're a part of our group. You're a part of our team, our team, and so we just want to really, that's how we operate on those relationships, and that's what I think, where you build trust and um, can have that consistency, um, over time, and we just want to help out our neighbors as much as
Mhm.
we can.
Well, awesome. Well, so thank you so much for taking your time today, Dr. Ken. And I'm going to put this in the comments of the video, but would you tell us verbally where our audience can find you?
Well, so our office, we're right on Highway 431, right next to the Dunkin' Donuts shopping center. I think everybody knows where that is.
Yeah, it hasn't been there very long,
Uh,
but it didn't take people long to
yeah, it's
figure out
just
where that was located.
right across the hallway, the highway
The
from
highway.
Lowe's. Um,
Mhm.
and we certainly have our website is performancevisioninc.com.
Okay.
We also have our social media sites with Facebook and Instagram as well. So uh, uh, feel free to use any of those
Okay.
outlets to connect with us for sure.
Okay, well, yeah, that can be helpful if people maybe forget the name of the business or they know it's Dr. Winton, but the business is Performance Vision. Just putting those together, so we'll make sure that people make that connection. Anyway, Dr. Ken, thanks again for sitting down with me today and for carving out some time so we can have this interview.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.